welcome back to our pre-conference program. This is our second video, part 2, and we were left off. We were explaining the spelling test we gave with looking at the word spelled correctly and different pattern sounds, letter pattern sounds, and we also gone through the reading sight words, the 150 words. Now let's go on to our Rigby program, which is our reading program that we assess the students with. Let me pull this back up, and oops, wrong slide. There we are. Okay, Rigby reading benchmark. Basically, we give them a story. There's different levels, and so we give them a text, and they read it for us, and we check for their fluency, and also we give them comprehension questions to answer, maybe about 3 questions or 4, and it's a one-on-one reading to a teacher, and they read to us, and we ask them the questions. Some of these questions may the answers are found in the text, and some of them they have to kind of think about the question and kind of connect it to either their own experience or maybe with other reading they had before or other stories. And so these stories or texts, they're picture books, and it gets a little harder as they move up in the different levels. We don't do the retelling at the first trimester normally, but in second trimester and third trimester we do expect them to retell the story in their own words and talk about the characters, the settings, the problem, and the solutions. And so we look at what level they're at when we do assess them, and we take these results and to guide our instructions, and basically we group them by levels, and that will help us to kind of target what their needs are in their reading. Okay, and that's Rigby reading. That it just helps us to kind of connect with them and understand where they are. Let's move on to the next part. We were talking about the Rigby reading, and the first row, the BPST, Basic Phonics Phonics Skills Test. This part, some students may have an NA marked on their first trimester, not assessed. Basically, if they do really well on the Johnston spelling, we know that they understand, have a good idea of using their spelling patterns, and they read fluently, and they have a good comprehension or a good understanding of what they're reading. Some students may not be offered to take the basic phonics test. Reason being, the phonics test just basically help us to have an idea of whether or not students are able to produce letter sounds, and if they are reading really well, then they may not need this at all. So we give them both capital letters and lowercase letters and see if they remember the sounds that they produce. And also, aside from the isolated letter sounds, we give them sounds of letters of certain words and see if they can, when they listen to the letter sounds, they can produce the word. Vice versa, if we give them a word like sad here, can they produce the letter sounds that it's broken up into? Okay, and also isolated sounds. If we give them a word, and can they hear the beginning of it, like keep here, the k and keep? And also, if we remove certain letters from words, can they look at that and say, and can they look at that and produce that same word without the letter? So for example, here, farm, if they take the F out, it will be what? Arm. Okay, so this type of the phonics test, that if they're given, that's the type of questions they'll be looking we will give you a updated STAR test result. STAR is basically a program at our school. It goes along with our AR quizzes. The STAR test in the beginning of the year, given probably in September, help us to the computer will generate, the program will generate a range, a score with a range of from one level to a range of numbers, let's say from 2.2 to 3.3. Basically what that means is when they look at certain books at the library or check out books from other places in school or outside of school, when they take quizzes from those books, then they'll find appropriate levels for them, and it'll have quizzes for those, just that range of books that they do read. Okay, it gives the STAR test also generates a goal based on the how long they read per day, and also the score that they have on STAR. So you'll see a STAR updated STAR result. Okay, and moving on to the district benchmark for writing. There's 3 different type of writing through the year, one for each trimester. And the first trimester they're giving a narrative. Second trimester they will be getting a informative prompt, and the last one would be an opinion writing. Okay, there's 2 scores given on each of these different types of writing. One is the mechanics, the grammar, and the sentence structures, and also the second one is the content, if they're off topic or if they have an understanding of what the questions the prompt is asking for. Okay, so these are 2 things, main things what we're looking at. And let me bring the PowerPoint down again and show you the rubric that you'll be seeing at the conference. Okay, we're looking at whoops, it's not very clear, but basically the numbers on top, 4, 1, 3, 2, 1, that gives an idea of what level they are at, and this is the rubric. So for example, they're looking at organizational plot. If it's a 4, meaning above grade level, they will use temporal words and phrases, and signal event order, provide clear closure. Okay, if they have a closing sentence in their writing, and temporal words meaning, like, you know, they use first, second, last, next. Okay, and if they're at grade level, they're expected also to use temporal words in event order. Okay, the difference would be, and they also expect closure. Okay. So some of these may be the same from grade level or above grade level, but there's other parts that are different. Okay, so for example, language convention, grammar usage is very different from level to level. Okay, close this out. So that's the you'll be seeing the writing rubric. Okay. Going on, district math benchmark. Okay, we our first trimester we give the beginning of the year inventory. This is 25 questions on a test, and each of the questions read to them, and the results of the benchmark are used to, again, to help us in our teaching. So next 2 trimesters, the benchmark will be different. It will be tests based on the end of the year on how much they know or expected to know. Okay, so 25 questions. Okay, oh, I'm moving on a little bit fast. Let me again, in the second part of the video, because the third part